Boop da ba ba boo. Boop da ba ba ba. Hello. All right. Can people hear me? All right. Hi. Am I coming through on volume? Okay. Am I multi-channel instead of just the left channel like last time? Cool. Well, let's get started. Gang. Hello. Tell me if my volume is okay. I've adjusted some things in the setup, so. And if the music's too loud, also tell me. How's everyone doing? Welcome. That's great. Welcome to another day where I sit and draw some dumb stuff and ask some questions, and we talk about whatever may come up. And I'm just going to draw, I'm not going to use red. I'm going to draw something that comes to mind and talk about some things for half an hour. So if you have questions, post them up into the chats. If you've got stories you want to share and talk about, please do. And I might ask you questions, so be prepared. Just Some Alchemist asks me, how's my day been? You know, my day has been long and tiresome, but good overall, productive. I think, you know, days can be stressful, strenuous. They can be ridiculous. They can have problems, and that's all fine and well and good, so long as I feel like we're still making progress. So if we're still making progress, that's good. It was a productive day. That's what matters. That's what's meaningful to me. How was your day? Anybody and everybody. And also, I'll talk through my process here as usual. Last time around, we had this stream a couple weeks back. I ended up using some music that got taken a copyright strike, so now we're just using some Solar Ash tracks in the background. Ash tracks in the background. So hopefully no more copyright strikes. But we'll see. We'll see, YouTube. I don't know what I'm drawing here. I guess I'm drawing some sort of knight or assassin. Let's see how this goes. Masked assassin. I think that's what I'm drawing. So Polaire says this day was good. Doing a job interview this Friday. Job interview? Where are you interviewing? Or, well, maybe that's too much of a personal question. How has the interview gone? I guess I'll ask instead. How do you feel about the job that you're doing? Whoops. My audio now is gone. My music is gone forever. We'll see if it ever comes back. Ray would make a pretty cool assassin. I think Ray has too much gusto for that, though. She's very much about facing things full on, like a real idiot, you know, making sure that she makes the loudest possible entrance, because why not? So I actually disagree. She'd be a very bad assassin. What am I going to do? I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to amp it up a little bit. Let me know if the audio balance is working or not well. I'm also in our Discord, so that's helpful. So if you want to join up on our Discord, you can see the video there and you can ask questions. Yeah, Ray, terrible damn assassin. Horrible assassin. Found a wallpaper. That's good. Yeah, good luck, Polaire, on your job interview. Tell us what you're interviewing for, if you feel comfortable sharing that. Okay, this person is going to turn into somebody smoking, I think, because that's what most of my drawings end up turning into when I'm just doodling, is someone smoking, because I'm a ding-dong and I like drawing that stuff. So that's what this is going to be. Just a smoking ding-dong. With some bad anatomy, because that's also what I love making. Stuff with the bad anatomy. If anybody's got a request or an idea that they want to see, I'm all ears while I draw an ear. I'm open for business, baby. For possibility. All right, let's get some wild hair in here. Some wacky hair. If you could have any haircut, like your ideal hair, everyone's got ideal hair. Don't tell me you don't. Everyone has their ideal hair. I know I have my ideal hair. What is your ideal hair? That's the question. So mine would be very straight, dark, thick hair. Because right now, my hair's kind of, curly-ish and not thick. It's very thin hair, disappointing. I was always disappointed in my hair as a kid. Used to be super bright blonde, and then it changed to be darker, but it's kind of evened out these days. So I wish I had just like dark, thick, deep hair that I could tie knots with, I could use it to, I don't know, hang off a building for a while. Upside down like a vampire bat. That would be great hair. Powerful hair. Same thing with the beard hair. It's not the best beard hair. It's thin. It's kind of curly, It does too much. It's like I want that thick, luscious hair. But I guess I didn't inherit that DNA. So now my hair is the saddest hair in my view. If I could trade my hair, I would. Would you? Yeah, Polaire, if you need a good reference, I can also be a good reference. I kind of know you. I can tell them all about your exploits and escapades and great deeds, evil deeds. I don't know about your deeds. Golden Anomaly says, I think my ideal hair would just be what I have now, but longer. You know what? Golden Anomaly, you can achieve that hair. I believe that you can achieve that. If you just have patience, your hair will be your ideal hair. That's all you have to do. Lucky you. You're one of the fortunate. The hair fortunate. Unlike others. I'm also getting to that age where I'm starting to lose my hair in some ways or another, so I have to be careful about it. I've had friends who have lost their hair when they're like turning 20, and that's the saddest one. That's rough. You're still figuring things out. You're not even really an adult yet. Really. You are, but you're still figuring stuff out. And your hair's going, oof, that's rough. All right, that's enough hair talk. Hair today, gone tomorrow. What else is going on with people? This is turning into a creepy picture. I'm going to change what's going on here. I'm going to give her some underlids. Whoop. There we go. This anatomy is not my favorite, but sometimes you got to do bad anatomy to get good anatomy. Keep it chunky. I started playing Horizon Forbidden West, not Zero Dawn. That sure is an open world game. If you have a chance to check it out, I would highly recommend it because the tech art in it, the artistry, the amount of just money that goes into a game like that, the sheer spectacle of it is incredible. I think as a developer, you start to recognize like expense at a certain level rather than a lot of other things. First and foremost, it's just like how much time this took and how many dollars they spent building this out. And that game looks very expensive, supremely expensive, for better and for worse. So, but it's quite a spectacle. So congratulations to that team. All right, what am I doing here? This hair is imperfect, but I'm going to make it even more imperfect. She's going to have a cool curl. Way cool curl. There we go. Like a butterfly. All right. So any other questions about days, about art, about games, or shall I tell a story if people don't have questions about anything? Putting everyone on the spot for questions. That drawing looks like he's related to that one android in Undertale. Who is it again? I don't know the android in Undertale. I don't know the android in Undertale. I know what you're talking about, generally speaking, but I don't recall. Was it the one that looked a little clownish? What was my first game project? Oh, okay. My first game project was back in, I don't know, what, 5th grade, something like that. My friend and I ended up trying to make a Command and Conquer clone, which was great. And we were using Notepad, and Notepad was a lot of fun. Oh, I think some people are talking on Discord. One second. How do we mute Discord? I'm going to mute people. Okay. I've muted them. All right. There we go. Now we're back. We made a Command and Conquer clone with Notepad and otherwise. And it was a lot of fun. We never got past some basic enemy AI for pathfinding. And I did some really stupid animations for the character's walk cycle. And we tried to put a dog in and some basic enemy AI for shooting tanks and dogs, but didn't work out so great. And then he gave up. That's kind of the story of games development for me for a long time, was trying to work with a friend, somebody else, and then that person kind of giving up on the process, because making games is hard and it's not for everybody, and you have to have a passion for it. And when you don't, it's easy to give up on. The second time around, I was working with one of my high school buddies, and we tried to make something a little more akin to, it was an iOS game, so it was going to be kind of a puzzle game, and we got a decent way there, which was great to see some things in action. We were using like Cocos 2D or whatever, and then he also gave up at a certain point. That was it. It's like, oh, I'm busy, got to do work, So didn't work out. I ended up recruiting another friend who was interested in like a weekend project. But that's kind of the problem, is it ends up being a weekend project. And then when people get busy and they have other stuff going on, you know, it's no longer a priority. And that's why you got to get people who actually want to make games for a living, like other indies, and get people involved that care about this stuff, because it's really hard to do. Got to have that dedication. Wait, hold on 1 second. I'm going to do one other thing here on Discord. Okay, there we go. I think we're good now. Whoop. Okay, so yeah, I would recommend, if you're going to get into making a game, friends are great, but make sure that they have some dedication to it, because it's easy to give up on making games because they're hard to do and it's not for everybody. And if it's just a weekend project, sometimes that can end up leading to disappointment. Sometimes it can lead to really interesting and fun things, though. So it depends on your friends group, but make sure that there's like a certain level of commitment to that stuff. Should I do something else with Discord? Hold on. Okay, this is not working. Okay. 1 second. Audio. Okay. I think we're good now. Now I can unmute people. I had to figure that out. Now I'm good. All right. Figuring things out. So, what was the next question? Thumbtack asks, is that your name, Thumbtack, or Benbow Quest guy? Asks, am I the Hyperlight Drifter guy? Yes, indeed. Arson7750. You have a question about the Solar Ash soundtrack and when will it be released? We are working on it. We have the OST, which is what we're listening to on this stream. It's all kind of compiled and it's just a matter of time. So soon, very soon, that OST will be released. Working on some cover art for it too, so stay tuned. We'll have more to say about that sooner than later. Your friend is working on a 3D platformer soon. You'll put the project on Kickstarter. Says Dream Piece Studio. That's good. Can you tell me more about this potential Kickstarter? And if you want to plug your friend's thing, what it's called and what it's about and why people should pay attention to it. You have my attention, so you know I'm sure you got other people's attention too. What's your friend gonna do? What's it called? So we can look at it in a little while. Tell us things. Okay, I think that person's done. Is it possible for Ray to get a haircut? Is it even possible to style flowing light? I think, says Golden Anomaly. That's a good question. I don't think Ray can get a haircut. I don't think you can style ooze, unfortunately. As much as I would like that to be true, especially with, who was that guy, the King of Ooze in the Power Rangers movie from the 90s? I don't think you can style ooze. So I think you lose when you ooze. And Ray's definitely got a lot of that. All right, what else am I going to draw here? Maybe I'll fix this up a little bit because it's looking goofy. Looking real goofy. Get that nose in there. She's looking like a clown. We'll do this. Grab this eyeball. Move it over. Whoop. Whoop. There we go. Thanks, eyeball. Good job. Oh, this is spooky music. So, what other questions were there from folks? I look away for 2 seconds, and your drawing turns from a monkey to an was it a monkey? I don't think it was a monkey before. I don't think I drew a monkey. Pretty sure that I did not draw a monkey. But, you know, to each their own. It's your interpretation. I'm going to draw a weird knight over here. And that's what's going to happen. Okay, it's not Alphonse. Sorry, but it is a knight nonetheless. A very spooky night. Let's go with this spooky music. Other questions from people. I'm here to hang out, to draw, to answer questions. So if you've got good questions, bad questions, whatever questions, and trust me, there are bad questions. Whoever tells you there's no such thing as a bad question, I don't think they were doing questions right. I think you gotta know your limits on questions. But ask any of them. I will answer what I can. Here we go. This guy is doing what he can. I'm gonna start blending things. He's got a little mop on his head. You know, one of those, what are they called? That like fucking Spartans had. You know, the mops. That's exactly what they're called, right? Spartan mops. They put them on there so that they could sweep up after their battles. That's why, right? 100%. Whoop. In case you didn't know, in the background, I'm playing the Solar Ash OST, which is a great OST, and you'll be able to pick up soon, as was asked. I don't know when yet. I cannot say when yet, but soon. Sooner rather than later. Trying to get that out. All right, what else am I going to draw here? I'm going to draw some goofy shit over here. Let's do a thing. So the process here is that I use shapes and shades to find something, and then when I find it, which is completely random, I then start to fill it in. So this looks like it's going to turn into some guy with a hat, maybe. Here we go. Like a Bloodborne kind of guy. Let's see. I think I got this hat. Yeah, all right. We got a hat here. Ooh, a little bit too much. Yep, there we go. It's gonna have a cool hat, a very tall hat, and then we'll make sure that this goes down. Yeah, good hat. All right. While I'm drawing this hat on this guy, please ask me some other questions. I'm dying to answer questions. So, whatever you got. Gene Canellis Game Dev. Hey, Alex. I'm one of the main devs on Death's Gambit. And Deltarune. Just wanted to stop by and say hi. Hope everything is going well on your end. Thanks. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out and watching me draw dumb things while I talk about whatever. I hope you enjoy. And if you want to answer, if you want to ask a question, if you want to answer a question, I can ask you something. But also, if you want to ask a question, please do. Any question at all about anything. It doesn't even have to be about video games. It can be about pizza. It can be about steak. It can be about mistakes, like what was the biggest mistake that you made this last month, because February is almost over. So thinking about all the problems, trials and tribulations. Yeah, what's the biggest mistake you made this month? I'll tell you my biggest mistake. Actually, what was my biggest mistake this month? That is a good question to answer. Gosh. Ooh, I know. I didn't pay a bill on time, and that really screwed things up for my personal life. Also, here's another thing that happened. I'm going to tell another story about a jerk this week. So I accidentally had something delivered to an old address, because it happens, you know. I had an old address in like Newegg, and I got something shipped out, and I'd forgotten about it to like an ancient address, and then I stopped by like a week or so later because I was busy and doing a bunch of other things and didn't have time. So I finally got around to it, talked to the person, and they were extremely rude. They acted as if I had like keyed their car or something. The fact that I dare have a package accidentally, mistakenly show up there, and that they had to hold on to it for weeks, this tiny, stupid package, to the point where in front of his kid, he's like, yeah, you know, next time it happens, just go throw it away. I'm like, dude, why are you being this way? What is your deal? And, you know, he asked if he's being unreasonable in a very sour tone. And I was like, well, listen, when a package gets shipped to me, that, you know, I don't like have a direct responsibility for, I try and make sure it finds the person it was intended to go to, because that's just like the decent thing to do. And it's not a huge deal to like hang on to a package for a little while. I get it. It's a minor inconvenience, but there are worse things in the world, and you could maybe not be a total jerk about it. So I don't know. It was just one of those things that didn't need to happen, and the guy did not need to be that way. Luckily, I could get out of there with relative ease, got my box, but he seems like a deeply unpleasant person. He seems like somebody you don't really... I feel bad for his family and his daughter, who's getting an example set of how not to handle people that have, you know, some basic issues with getting packages. It's such a minor thing, and it says a lot about a person, the way that they handle minor stuff like that, where whether it's a larger inconvenience or a smaller inconvenience, it's kind of like the whole thing with people in the service industry, like your waiter or whatever else, and you can tell a lot about a person in how they treat people like that, you know, that they don't need to treat a certain way, but choose to treat a certain way, where they're not looking for something, some advantage to gain, you know, where it's not about, ooh, could I impress this person? It's about basic common decency. So this person, not a whole lot of basic common decency, unfortunately. So that was fun. It left me miffed for a couple of hours afterwards, and I did not enjoy being miffed. So, hey, don't ever send an accidental package to my old Biona house, because you'll get an angry dad. It's about nothing. Angry about the most dumb and not valuable thing to be upset about thing on the planet, of like holding on to a package for a couple of days. So, yeah, don't talk to that guy. And also, don't create conflict or confrontation if you don't need to. Not worth it. All right. Do I have any gripes with Unreal Engine? Anything specific you wish you could improve or get improved? I think that Unreal is flawless and there's nothing... No, I mean, there's problems with every engine. I could go on and on with I'm sure anybody who's used a tool for long enough could go on and on about the problems that they have with it and the ways they would change it or improve it, even their own tool. So for me, I would say the biggest issues that I have with Unreal, oh, this guy's gonna have like a spiked cape, I think. Yeah, the biggest issues that I end up having with Unreal are that, I guess this is gonna be some sort of like alligator, whale, I don't know, something, are that I wish that it would handle, I wish that it would handle some of the compiling better. That might be on us in the way that it does that each time you load up a level, but it's a little slow on that front and can be pretty cumbersome when you have very large levels and you're rebuilding shaders and fun stuff like that. Not the most pleasant thing. The other thing that is genuinely a pain in the ass, and I don't know if they've changed this in 5 or not. They could have. Is the way that you move and delete and manage levels. It's not good. It leads to a lot of errors because there's dependencies in the ways that it's set up. So it's a pretty bunk system when it comes to like, I want to move this level or I want to delete this level. Like it is copying and deleting and remaking a level. Even if you're just moving a level, it's doing all these different operations. It's like, I don't understand why you have to do this, Unreal. It's just the way you were made, I guess. So that's a pain in the ass, and I've lost plenty of work to that process. So if you ever want to move levels in Unreal, maybe don't, because it doesn't like you doing that. Do it right the first time with all your level labels and all that stuff, because it's not going to be a pleasant process if you just suddenly break it. But yeah, otherwise, Unreal's treated us pretty well. There's certainly plenty of other things that you could do longer term to improve it, but I don't have like crazy gripes with it. It's just the kind of goofy things that you wish were better, but aren't going to deter you from using it, really. This is going to be a weird alien, I think. Perhaps. Yeah, probably. Maybe yeah, there we go. It's going to have a big old eye socket, but it's going to be very thin here, and I think he's stoned. Yeah, this guy's definitely baked. Good job, guy. Good job being baked. This is what I'd usually be doing in my sketchbooks in my off hours, but I don't really have off hours anymore these days, so this is what it ends up being, is doing a live stream. So I get some downtime to draw some dumb bullshit that doesn't have to have a purpose other than I just want to draw for a while. So welcome to my dumb bullshit stream. It's a fun time, I promise. This looks like someone with a lot of hair, maybe. Here we go. Some crazy Ray hair. No, not Ray hair. Let's do this. You're gonna have a forehead and a nose, and you're gonna be wearing that nose. Some cheeks here. Yep. And then, oh, this is like an old. Yeah, there we go. This is gonna be. Gotta get some eyebrows in there. Big old nose, like a Ghibli witch nose, basically. There you go. Perfect. Perfecto. And now she needs like a little bit. She needs an eye or two. Just a little bit of an eye there. There we go. This is a very soothing track from the beach biome. Probably my favorite track in the game for Solar Ash. Okay, what's this guy doing? He needs like a gun or something, or he's smoking a cigarette through his mask. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Smoky smoke. Let's get some smoke in there. Whoop. There we go. What a ding dong. All right, questions. Mr. Hot Soup, do you ever second guess ideas you have because they are inspired by a culture other than your own? That's pretty interesting. I try and be respectful towards any cultures that I'm like pulling stuff from. And ultimately, you can take inspiration from anywhere, even a variety of cultures, so long as you're transforming it enough that it becomes something different, where maybe you can see the clear source of inspiration, but it's not going to be disrespectful to the culture that it was pulled from. So, there's subtle ways to do that. There's more obvious ways to do that. A lot of people are influenced by Japanese culture, especially in games. I know that like Sifu has been a hot topic because they made a Hong Kong game, but they're not from there. They're developers from, different places. And there's also sort of questions around if that's a good idea or a bad idea. Certainly I've had some stories and I'm like, oh, I want to tell a story in Japan, but then what do I know about Japan really? And like, what authority do I have to talk about Japan in any way, shape, or form? And am I just using this setting, for my own story rather than for maybe better reasons, or is there a better reason? Does there need to be a more justification for it? So there's a lot of questions that come up on that front. And my attitude towards it, generally speaking, is I think you just need to tread lightly on that stuff because there's a lot of appropriation that ends up happening. And if you really love a culture and you're inspired by it, like, that's fine. That's great. Like, show your love for it. But do it in a fashion that's not going to trounce on like whatever traditions or things that are important to that culture. Show the love and care that you think it deserves. And what that means to you, it's like, that's up to you. I think, there are just plenty of discussions around that topic that you could go online and have. I don't know if I'm the best resource for that because I haven't done any stories like that. And I would be wary of that. I'm Hawaiian. My dad's side of the family is the Hawaiian part, and my mom's side is the white part. And, I've seen different elements of Pacific Islander culture end up being appropriated in different ways that certainly bothers me. There are ways to do it respectfully and ways to do it poorly. And it's a tough line to walk. Like, that's the reality of it. It really is a tough line to walk. You have to really want to do it well, to do it with justice. So, I don't know. If you're thinking about doing a story like that, make sure that you give a shit, I guess, is the baseline. And that you're doing it out of love rather than whatever else. Like, don't exploit a culture, basically. That's my advice. Do it because you care about something, because you have something to say about that culture in one way or another, not just because like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool is rarely a good answer on things. So, Void Priestess asks, do you prefer sparkling or still? Ooh, I like that question. So I've drank a lot of sparkling water in my life because sparkling water is refreshing as hell. Unfortunately, my guts can't really handle that stuff anymore, so my days with sparkling water are relatively limited now. I once in a while treat myself, but it's a rarity. But yeah, if I could, I'd drink sparkling water all the live long day. But I can't, so I won't. Instead, I will drink just regular old still water, because that's fine. What other questions? Does Drifter listen to Weezer? I don't think the Drifter listens to Weezer. because they don't exist in that world, but I listen to Weezer sometimes, or I used to, a billion years ago, when Weezer was still cool, which they are not still cool, unfortunately, because, you know, what has Weezer done recently that was good? Tell me the last good Weezer album, and I will disagree with you, because it was none of them. No, I'm just joking. I loved Weezer back in high school, but it's, you know, it's a billion years ago now. I've tried to listen to their newer stuff, and I don't find it particularly compelling. So I can't. If you're a Weezer fan, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I was a Weezer fan and can't be anymore. I don't know what this guy is. He's some sort of like bone cage armor going on, which is cool, I guess. Let's give him an arm over here. Some sort of good arm. Boop, bop, boop. There we go. And what's it gonna do with this arm? Maybe this arm has a gun. Because who doesn't like guns? Maybe it has some magic. Or maybe it's just like gripping the air in a weird way. Or, no, I'm just gonna like toss the hand to the side. Gonna make a sock puppet. Wah, wah, wah. There we go. Perfect. Perfect hand. No problems. All right. What other questions are up? Follow-up question. Wasn't the same one? Beach/water music is always the best. I agree. Beach music is super fun usually in games. I fucking love it. And water music is like the most mellow, chill ass stuff that you can listen to. I mean, everyone loves Donkey Kong Country because of that water music. So, you know, I can't imagine playing that game without it. I don't know how many times I've listened to it. I have a question for chat. What is your most listened to soundtrack? Game soundtrack of all time. I will say my most listened to I'll name two things. My most listened to movie soundtrack and my most listened to game soundtrack. So most listened to movie soundtrack is probably Mortal Kombat, which still holds up, surprisingly, or maybe not so surprisingly. I mean, it's not like gonna blow your socks off these days, but damn, that's a pretty banging ass OST. Now, the reason why it's my favorite is because that was the only CD I had for a long time. Like, I grew up with not a ton of money as a kid in my family. Like, we were like, yeah, not super well off, but could afford a Walkman and a disc once in a while. And you got like one a year, basically, you know, or two maybe if you're lucky. And I had Mortal Kombat, and then I would steal my brother's NWA and a lot of good rap that I learned about as a kid that I shouldn't have been listening to at that age, but I was, and it was pretty good. But Mortal Kombat, what a soundtrack! What a dumb soundtrack! What a dumb movie, but great, because I love dumb stuff. My most listened to OST for a game, it's probably a tie between Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, and Mario RPG. I still listen to those soundtracks. They are like infinitely listenable. You know, Square knew what the hell they were doing back in the day when it came to soundtracks. Koji Kondo, oh, so much good stuff. But nowadays, I don't know. Are the Final Fantasy soundtracks any good these days? I don't know, because I don't listen to them. I don't really play Squaresoft games much these days, so I know 14's got some cool stuff, but does it have a good soundtrack? That's my question to you. So yeah, List out your favorite soundtracks, your most listened to soundtracks for movies and games. I'm super curious. Golden Anomaly. Yours is probably Undertale or Deltarune. Mother 3 and Mad Rat Dead. What is Mad Rat Dead? Undertale has a great soundtrack. Yeah, Toby Fox is a fucking incredible composer. You know, if anything. I mean, clearly very talented in many regards, but oof, those soundtracks, they are pretty damn incredible. All right, what do we got? +1 Undertale. Yep, Undertale is pretty great. Hollow Knight says, as Vita. You know, I haven't listened to the Hollow Knight soundtrack much. Not because I don't like it, just I don't know. It didn't, when I was playing, it didn't capture me as much for some reason. It worked well with the game. It just didn't really, it didn't speak to me in a way that said like, I need to listen to this outside of this game. It was perfectly suited for the game. I feel like there's a lot of game soundtracks like that, which are just amazing in context, but then outside of it, I don't feel that need, that connection. So Grease, I haven't listened to the Grease one, much, but Minecraft's good. What a banger. Totally a banger. What is that? Valhalla. Mad Rat Dead is a cool rhythm game about a zombie rat with time-traveling powers. Banger songs. All right. I mean, I guess I have to write down Mad Rat Dead now, because that sounds pretty cool. I don't know what this is going to be, but it's something. Oh, I guess this is an eyeball and a face. Yeah, this is a face. There we go. Got a weird little face going on here. Whoop. It's coming up on time soon, so I'm gonna draw maybe 1 or 2 more things, and then we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna take a break and lay down for a while. I don't know what this is gonna be. I hope I don't get copyright striked for our own soundtrack. That would be silly. I don't know what this is yet, but we'll find out together what this thing up here is gonna be. Okay. Not seeing anything yet. Oh, now I'm starting to see something. Okay, I got it. I gotcha. I gotcha. Oh, this is gonna be like a two-face. Here we go. You can have a face there, and you can have a face here. Have some cloudy faces. And then we're gonna do dark eyes. That'll be great. And then we'll do some dark eyes here, and that'll be fun. Yep, there we go. And then we'll do a little bit of shading on the side there. Keep it light. Just like some twinsies, just hanging out, being best buds. There we go. These guys are gonna be real dapper. You'll see. You'll see how dapper. They'll prove you wrong. You doubted how dapper they're gonna be, and now they're gonna dapper the fuck out of you. It's gonna have these like sweet cowls or whatever you're gonna call it. They're gonna have cool ass hats. There's not a lot of hats you can say like that's a cool hat, but you're gonna say that's a cool hat to this hat. Trust that they know what they're doing with their hats, because it's gonna have horns on it. That's why it's gonna be a cool ass hat. Ass hat. There we go. Now you know what a cool hat looks like. Okay, other questions from folks here. Even You've also been listening to Nitrome game soundtracks, old Flash relics. I never played any Nitrome stuff. I did play a lot of Flash stuff back in the day. You know, Alien Hominid when that was still on Newgrounds and all that shit. That was fun. And there was definitely some good jams there. Those were like the salad finger days, which, what a dumb thing, but you know, we were all in high school once. Can't be too upset about it. All right, they're gonna have like this double layered suit going on, and you're not even gonna believe how cool this hat's gonna be. This is gonna be an even cooler hat. Just you watch. Just you watch. Boom. Cool hat achieved. I guess they're owl friends. They look kind of like owl friends, so we'll lean into the owly nature of it. Give them some spookier eyes and maybe a bit more of a pronounced beak. And then we'll do a quick little boop. Boop for the eye. There we go. All right. These guys are very cool. You don't even know. They could have canes and you wouldn't even know. Because canes are very cool. On Dapper birds. I gotta give this guy buttons. Some like cool, very expensive buttons. Did you know there was a whole thing about buttons back in like, I don't know, 16th century France and other parts of Europe where buttons were a big point of contention. And they're like straight up street battles over ownership rights on buttons and things like that. People went to jail because of buttons and other things for apparel back in ye olden days. It was strange times. But I guess, you know, we go to jail for dumber things these days anyway, so. All right. He needs a cane, but I don't know. I think we're running low on time here, so maybe I'll just finish this other bird up here, because this is definitely some sort of bird. Very much a bird here. Look at this bird. We're gonna go bird crazy. There we go. Birdie bird. Does anybody have a favorite bird? I used to think that I wasn't much of a bird person, but I kind of like birds now. They're very weird. And I know they don't exist. We all know they don't exist. But birds, they're the strangest fucking creatures. Whoop. Nope. Let's do this. There we go, bird. Maybe this bird needs like an open beak to really get the full bird nature out, and then whip. There we go. Get your bird tongue. That's a gross bird. I don't appreciate this bird anymore. Forget it. I no longer like birds. Birds are out. All right. I think we're good here. I'll answer a couple more questions before we call it. But I appreciate everybody hanging out and watching me draw dumb shit. Dream Pieces, or Dream Piece Studio says, you like cockatiel? Cockatiels are cool. First time I ever had Bohemian Rhapsody was a Mega Man animation on Newgrounds. You know, there's a lot of firsts on Flash. There's a lot of weird firsts. What is a kokako? They sound like ghosts in the forest. That does sound pretty cool for a bird. What do my layers look like? Asks Norpo. This is my layer. I have one layer. That's it. I use a lot of layers when I'm doing, work that isn't just doodles. But when it's just doodles like this, it's a single layer. I'm not looking to do anything complicated or come back to it. Like, this is a one and done, so I don't need multiple layers. But any other art that I'm doing, it's like, oof, you don't want to see my layers. You really don't. Gross bird. Kokako. I'm going to look up that bird. All right. It's hitting 7 p.m. It's time to snooze. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out and watching. We're going to have a heart-to-heart sooner than later with a new friend of the Heart Machine person, and we'll announce that sooner than later. We're just figuring out timing for things. Also, if you're not on our Discord, join the Discord, follow us on Twitter and all that fun stuff. We'll have some announcements on things soon, so be aware. There's cool stuff to come. That's new, so watch out for this space sooner than later. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see each other when we see each other.